Hello, people of the interweaves. We are back
Howdy.
once again. It's very exciting. I'm excited to talk to you because I really enjoy what I see on your Kickstarter page. You have some exciting stuff happening on there. It's gonna be fun to see. So we got a couple people hanging with us chat. We'll have more. I know we just started and we're like 4 minutes late. It's fine.
All right.
It's fine. We have GT Comics in here. And for those that are just watching and don't know who this is you on one of your gaming channels, on one of your channels. There you go.
It is, yeah. Board Game Coffee is my YouTube channel.
Nice. A couple years ago, I got really big in watching Tabletop Minions and all the tabletop stuff from Will Wheaton, and I wish they would bring that series back. That series is one of my favorite things of all time. I wish they would bring that back.
Yeah, it was great. It was good.
So good.
It would be fun to put something like that together with a kind of budget where you have like people editing for you and your own cameraman and like, because right now anything I want to do, I have to do myself. So if I do anything different, the quality isn't going to be as high as where I want it to be because it's just more work to do. So this is my studio right here. Actually, that's a big studio light.
I was trying to figure out what that is. Oh yeah, I see the studio light. Yeah, wow.
And this over here is a stack of board games.
Oh, I can see that.
So I had to recently move a bunch of stuff at the last minute, and all this just got stacked there. That's my board game table, and I record that way. So like on the other side is the brick wall that's behind me. There's more board games back there, and that is actually DC Universe. DC, what's the title called? It's DC Superheroes United.
Let me see if I can make it. We can kind of get a picky poo right there. Ooh, boom.
So that game releases like next year. So
look at you. You got fancy pants. Oh, dude, if you're into comics, you need to talk to Sean. Sean runs an Australian version of tabletop gaming, but he also does his own comics as well. Like he actually gets in and creates their own tables. It's fantastic. You need to get into that. We finally got people joining us. Let's say hey to some people. GT Comics. And once again, for the people in chat, this is his channel right here. Go and click on that and sub on that. And Jay Ryan is saying, "Rip Wesley."
I like that thumbnail. I like that icon.
Oh yeah, that's his art. Yeah, he does saucy arts. And all the way from the UK, the greatest mod of all time. We got Glenn. What's up, Glenn?
What's up, Glenn?
That's right. And we got Canada Survivalist in the house. What's up, Canada? Fresh off. I'm so glad that you finally got your package because me and Missy were like freaking out trying to figure out if it got lost somewhere on its way to Canada. And I'm glad it found it to you, which is very adorable that your daughter got that. So thank you.
Fun fact, I'm in Canada right now.
Amazing. I am so close to Canada, I can touch it. I am right by Detroit and Ontario.
Oh, that's my son.
Oh,
well, that's my wife writing for my son. Xavier's my son.
Oh, how cute. Yeah. Lovely.
You can tell I'm hold on a second. Hi, Xavier.
Oh, let's all say hi to Xavier. Hi, Xavier. Hi.
So I keep forgetting to do that.
Oh, that's so cute.
And you can tell that we're into comics. His name's Xavier. So it's not an accident.
I mean, either that or you're really big into Cabbage Patches.
Is that a cabbage? Was there a Cabbage Patch named Xavier?
Xavier Roberts was the creator of Cabbage Patches.
Oh, okay.
That's for the 80s people in the chat. What is up, Michael? Also, if you're looking for good reviewer right here. He's also an indie artist, but he does a piece to go along with the book that he reads, which is fantastic.
Oh, excellent.
I know. And Taste the Canadian. Yes, Taste the Canadian. That's right.
Yeah, it's in the air.
He's also Canadian, so it's really in his air as well. Yes. Aw, he's moving. He's waving. Aw, that's hey, so buddy. Adorable. Hi.
He's 3.
3. Oh, that's so cute.
He is adorable.
Aw, that's so
Xavier
adorable.
Is adorable.
That's so cute. I do not have children, but they are adorable at that age.
They are cute.
Oh, we got Jay actually waving back to Xavier. Oh, that's cute. I like this waving to Xavier. How adorable. Okay, for those that do not know who you are, this is probably the most important question you will have to answer on this channel. Who are you? What do you do? Why are you here?
Well, my name is right there.
Oh, there you go.
So, I am the writer and creator of So-Called Living, which is a series that launched earlier this year on Kickstarter. So this is my second Kickstarter this year. And the first one launched in March for books 1 and 2. And now it's books 3 and 4 in October. So it's a dark comedy, which is perfect for Halloween. It's not a spooky book, but it deals with werewolves, vampires, zombies, etc. So even though all those people haven't necessarily appeared yet, they definitely will. So
I like
yeah,
that.
so that's my gist. I'm a writer of comic books, and that's my newest thing. So I'm like brand new. I'm a brand new baby comic book writer, and but I've been in the video game industry for like 25 years, and I've been in the board game media industry for 6 years, something like that.
Oh, you were in the right audience. Not only are we comic nerds, we're gaming nerds, and we're tabletop nerds. So I'm going to ask you a question. What was your favorite console growing up?
Well, it depends on when growing up is my favorite console that comes to mind that's not out right now, because currently I love my Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck. But I was a huge fan of the Dreamcast.
My number one underrated system of all time.
Yep.
It was so ahead of its time.
You know what screwed over the Dreamcast was the what came before it was the Saturn.
Saturn. Yeah, Sega Saturn.
That screwed up the Dreamcast because everybody lost faith in Sega after that.
Oh, I love Sega Saturn and I love Sega Dreamcast. It's such a shame that Dreamcast only had such a tiny window because some of the gameplay on it was phenomenal. And Time Stalkers is still this day one of my favorite games. I just wish it had such a longer life on it. But I think coming right out the time, what was it, PS1, 2, whatever was at the same time, or was it PS2, I think? And yeah, they just kind of got out of the way. But yeah.
Yeah, because they were going up against PS2, Saturn and PS2, and then PS2 buried Saturn. And I think they got, because they did okay with Master System. You know, they held their own against Nintendo, and then they came up with the Genesis, and they did really well with the Genesis. And then they got a little cocky, and then they did the Saturn. And like I even had the Sega CD. I loved the Sega CD.
Dude, when Sega CD came out and you got to play and it was just weird games too. You had like Myst. And then you had they were like weird adventure games, but like live people on it. And then you had to go explore stuff on it. I remember one with like a vampire in like the 1800s or something. Yeah, it was some good times.
I had the Sherlock one. I had the Night Trap game, which I still have, I believe. I still have Night
Trap. Oh, nice. Yeah. I love the Saturn only because it had so many JRPGs on it. It was like heaven if you were into the JRPGs. I know. And we got a lot of people in here freaking out over this. Yes. That's right. Great title and great looking art. Yes, we're going to get fully into your Kickstarter too, because I want to hear way more about your book, because just looking at this right here, this little snippet, I'm for it. I'm for everything. This is adorable. I love it. I definitely want to learn more about this. I know. I should have in the house. And Jay says, look at this man. He has taste. The Saturn and Dreamcast. Majestic. It's good times right there. It's really good times.
And that little memory card they had where you could play like Snake.
Oh, I still have that. Yeah.
It's great.
When Knights came out and you got the big controller too, and you got to run around and play with that. That was fantastic. Yes, it does in fact slay. And you love Sega. You know, I bet you do. I bet you do, Glenn. You know, that's another one that really doesn't even get a lot of love either. Like right around that time, there was a couple, especially some of the handheld stuff. Neo Geo had some fantastic games on it, but it was so hard to find.
I have the Neo Geo handheld.
Yeah.
I have that one, which I liked playing Metal Slug on that. That was fun.
Nice. Metal Slug, yes. Yeah.
Super Track. Yeah, there's another live action video thing, which I believe I have that one too. That was in the trailers for the Sega CD. He's like, oh my God, look how good this is.
Sega, you love Sega CD. Yeah, Sega CD and Saturn did not deserve their fate. Yeah, they could have used a very longer time. I know.
They had Dragon Slayer for Sega CD. I had that. Loved it.
Dragon Slayer was so good. Yeah.
Because that was the only time I could play it. Because you go to the arcade and it looks amazing, but I didn't understand it was like a quick time event type of thing. I didn't understand that because that was the first game like that. It looked amazing. And but it was like $1 to play every time, and I was like, I don't have $1 to play every time I die, because you die every 2 seconds. So I was like, nope. Then I rented it for Sega CD, and then I bought it, and I got so good at that game. I once finished it from front to back 3 times in a row, back to back, without dying once.
Whoa, you're quite you need a trophy for that. That's fantastic. Mega CD.
Yep, Mega CD too.
VMU and Jay Glenn VMU too. Jay, how cute is that? It's adorable. We got P in the house. What's up, P? How are you doing? But oh man, I really loved those games that were like I was super big on just PlayStation 1 and 2 for the Discworld games. I didn't mind the point and click adventures. I thought they were fun, but I loved the story that was behind them, and I really liked the art was just fantastic. But yeah, Dragon's Lair was really cool. I like that. Yes, what's happening? And what's up, Justin? How are you doing? I hope you're having some fun doing, dude. I've never seen so many people go to like walk through parks at Disney. Man, like all the time. That's so awesome. Go check him out as well. It's fantastic. And he's dropping your links. Thank you. Shout out to Glenn, the Ultra Mod right there. So fantastic. Thank you. I am very excited to get to talk to you about this book. I do have a question though, before we get to that. Since you named your child after Xavier, if something happens, we're gonna act like the blip happened, but everyone came back as babies, and you're forced to get together their part, but you're still in adult form as Charles. Who are you rounding up to be your massive baby team that you're gonna make into, your superhero extraordinaire? You can even pick some villains, by the way.
Am I making a baby team of?
You are making a baby team, yes.
Does it have to be X-Men?
Could be anybody, even villains, because they're babies. They don't know. It blipped and they got reverted back to babies, but they don't remember anything.
Like a reverse blipping.
Yes, reverse blipping. Yeah.
All right. Well, I gotta put Spider-Man on there. He's my man. So gets mistaken for a mutant. He was was at House of M. He pretended to be a mutant because that's so. So yes, Spidey. I got a life-sized, actually plushed Spidey around the corner here.
Oh, nice.
Who else would I put on there? Well, this is tough because there's a lot of characters.
It is tough.
Does it have to be all from Marvel?
No, it could be anybody. You can mix match it. You could even branch out into the Universal monster realm as well and make this team. Yeah.
Okay, so here's I'm basing things on stories that don't make any sense. Okay, so I'm gonna go to I'll go Spider-Man. I'll take. Oh, this is tough. I'm gonna get Magneto.
Okay.
Magneto. I like a good villainous Magneto. I'm thinking of other. Do you ever read Harrow County? Harrow County.
I have a couple issues of that. I have not finished the whole story.
Without ruining anything, the girl who stars in that, I want her on the team. So I want a little dark witchery that's not Scarlet Witch.
Go. Yeah.
So put her on there, and I think to just because I think he's OP, and I think he always gets screwed over by Superman. But I'm gonna go Brainiac.
Okay.
And if I need a bouncer, I'm gonna put Lobo in there.
Oh, Lobo is my guy. Let's go, Lobo. Baby Lobo.
Baby Lobo would be adorable. Brainiac, I'm assuming he would just have like his giant green head, like wires coming out of it.
Diaper and giant green head. Yeah.
Yep.
You probably have to be baby proof though, because you don't want him tripping over and hitting his head on stuff.
But like, think of it. If he gets older, he can reprogram my security passwords. He can take care of my IT. He'd be my IT guy.
Yeah.
IT guy built in. It'd be great.
I like the way you're thinking this. This is amazing. This is great.
So there you go. That's my team.
That's your team. I like it. I like your team. Nice. What would this motley crew of babies be called?
It's because I like so many comic books, and it's kind of hard to pick one. Although I've kind of fallen out of love recently with Superman. But only because there was a huge gap, and then I went back and I was like, how many super people are there now?
All of them.
I was like, I bought one book, and I swear there was like 12. And I was like, what the hell?
Super people. Yeah.
I was like, okay, it's too many. It's too many. He's not special anymore. There's too many super people. I was like, there shouldn't be any problems on this planet.
Really? That's the one thing that drives me nuts about Superman. You would think at least all of the crime in Metropolis would be just done because the dude is a super being from space. They could easily just go bloop, 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 bloop and take care of stuff. You think this would be, kicked in the butt somewhere. I know. And what is up, Kev? Yes, Haunting Friday to you too. And my buttholes. Thank you. And oh, dude, that's the one thing that I would love to do is go to that Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios. That sounds amazing. Oh, yeah, you did?
I did it, and what was awesome about when I did it is I was at Universal Studios already, and I don't know how this happened, but before they start everything up, they kind of kick everybody out of the park, and they slowly start to like, at least they did when I was there, and they block off the roads, and eventually they like cattle, everybody gets kind of like ends up in one area on the outside, but I somehow ended up on the other side. Like I was like, where is everybody? I was inside Universal Studios, like there's nobody there. It's dark, and I see at the end of the street where all the lights, there's like tons of people, but there was like a barrier. I was like, they like got everybody out somehow, and we fell through the cracks. And I was like, I don't even know how this happened. So I was like, I'm not going that way because that's the exit. If they see me, they're kicking me out. So I was like, I'm going that way. So then I found the haunted houses, and I went into them, and I was there by myself. So like I went in, so I was like the first in line. I got in, and then and it was great because then you got a actually good scare. It's hard to get scared there when there's a lineup of like 50 people in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
And you can see the person getting scared 10 people down, right? You're like, I know somebody's popping out of there, and you see it a few times before it even reaches you. So the scare is kind of gone because you're like being shoved through like cattle. But when I was there, the house was empty, so I got to do like 2 of them that were really empty, and then by the time I got to the third one, people were already trickling in, and then it got busy, and then by the time I got to like the 4th or 5th one, it was like a huge lineup. But it's great because they have the zombies running around like trying to scare the hell out of you. But there's like there's like these invisible barriers where they're told like you can't go here, and so people can like eat in peace.
Yeah.
So like they run, and he's like, I know there's a barrier here, so you walk peacefully. It was like they can scare all they want, but they can't cross that line. That's the rule.
Oh. So I wonder how confused the people running those haunted houses were, like when you were just by yourself walking through. It must be like, man, this must be some ultra VIP guy that just out here by himself. He's got the whole park to himself right now.
When I went in, it must have been really close to opening, and I think they just thought the park was open because it was really close. Because by the time I got to the second place, there was already like a few other people there, and then by the time I got to the third, you see more people. So I think it's because where it was and how they let people trickle in. The guys in the house had no idea. They must have been like, oh, they're starting to let people in. This is the first guy here.
Oh,
so
that's
which was
awesome.
great. So yeah, that was really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know. I definitely want to go down there one time. I think the last time I went down there was 4th grade. It was only to Disney. I don't think they were even doing that at that time. And yes, Jay, you can include the Muppet Babies in your baby superhero, whatever you want to call it, team. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. Yes. And you'd be a fat Muppet. You're adorable, Glenn. Yeah. See, Glenn's picking Superman. That's his #1 guy. So yeah.
Speaking of Muppet Babies, where was it? I remember it was like KFC or McDonald's. They had the little tiny
Burger. I think it was McDonald's. They had like the little Muppet. I still have the Fozzie and the Miss Piggy.
Because I know they had the
way back in the day. Yeah,
the Kermit, and he was on a skateboard or something, and then some of them were on like the big wheels. I love those. Those are awesome.
Yeah. Oh, dude, the 80s McDonald's toys, you can't get any better than that. They had the Barbie, the Cabbage Patch Kids. You had all the little like doodads that were fantastic. And I don't think this is something I never would have thought in my wildest dreams I would have pictured in my entire life. Jay wants to put baby Ted Danson on his lineup.
Okay.
I mean, go for it. Go for it, Jay. You get out of here, Jay. Not Jay. You get out of here, Glenn, with that. Lobo sucks. Get out of here. You suck.
Well, in Glenn's defense, Lobo New 52 was terrible.
Well, we're not going to go to the Kryptonite Lobo either. Leave him out of this. Those 2 guys are off of nowhere land. That's right. League of Extraordinary Babies. That works. That works. And hello to my favorite resident alien of the YouTubes. Hello. Welcome to the chat. This is perfect. Let's see in here. Wow, I missed a whole ton of. How did I be missing all this? Yes. What's up, Figure? How are you doing? Wow, I missed a whole crap ton of people. Wow. All right, I'm just gonna scroll them up. Okay. Oh wait, you feel attacked here? Wendy's kids meal Snorks, dude. Snorks were amazing. I love Snorks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was this other cartoon that I watched that I don't know many people that do know, and I can't remember what they were called. It was a bunch of little puppies. It was kind of like Smurfs, but they were puppies. What were they called? What was that called?
The Pound Puppies?
No. It was like Smurfs. Like they lived in like the woods. They were tiny little furry puppies. I can't remember what they were called. And I used to love that show.
If you're in the Canadians, it could have been the raccoons.
No, I love the raccoons, but it wasn't the raccoons. And I can't remember what it is, but it's funny I don't remember what it is because I've had this conversation before in the past, and the name's always oh yeah, that's it. And now for some reason I can't remember at all what it was, but that was a fun one. Imagine Smurfs, but puppies.
Here says Care Bears are not puppies.
Neither of these.
To be fair, most of New 52 was horrible,
I liked Aquaman.
Aquaman in New 52 wasn't so bad. It wasn't too terrible. Yeah.
And I liked Snorks were. Yeah, Snorks.
I love the Snorks. Snorks were my favorite. Yeah. That's right.
All right.
Yeah. Gummy Bears?
No. Yeah, Gummy Bears was great.
Oh, Gummy Bears has to this day one of the best theme songs. And if you watch Freaky Louie, sure. Freaky Louie came up with a jingle that has to do with me. So he turned me into the Gummy Bears theme song, which is my favorite thing that has ever happened on the YouTubes. It's amazing. Yeah.
I was a fan of when they found it's like passages to the Great Gummies Den, and it was like this huge place. I was always a fan of when you discover like hidden holes that lead to secret worlds.
Oh, I love that. There was a lot of cartoons in the 70s and 80s that did that, and I love that kind of stuff. That's so much fun. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I had expected as an adult that I'd find more passages in old buildings, but no, I have to make my own.
I thought my entire life would have been, I'm going to go on adventures and find secret hidden caves and things. No, not once have I found a secret hidden cave.
Quicksand would be a bigger problem than it is, right? Because
I thought everyone was terrified of quicksand. We have all watched videos on how to escape quicksand. Has anybody even seen quicksand? No, I don't think so.
Nope.
I don't think so. We've got a question. The foofer?
It wasn't foofer.
Hey, Tate, and a very special birthday to you too. Happy birthday. Whoa. Your favorite was Thunder. Thunder the Barbarian was fantastic. That's right. You found a hidden cave or two? Oh my, Jay. Yes. Well, you are in the midst of the wilds of Canada building a house, so I would assume you found a moose and some caves. I'm just saying.
I made my own secret passageway in this house. So
in your house?
Secret passageway because I'm a giant child. So. And that's where I keep my board games. My board game storage. It's a hidden panel that you wouldn't know that was there.
Now you got to keep them tucked away because you can't have the child, taking the tiny parts for those. Yeah.
This basement right now is such a disaster. He's not even allowed downstairs. So I get more board games down here than I know what to do with. I have brown boxes. You can see a corner of a brown box down here. That's one board game that came in the mail. That is, I don't even know. I think that might be Marvel Zombies. I have so many brown boxes of board games. Like around that corner, I have brown boxes of board games shipped from Kickstarter that is almost as tall as I am. The tons of a wall of them.
I know. I backed the Nightmare board. It was one of my favorite games growing up. The one that you put the thing in the VHS. It was called a different thing at the time. It was Nightmare, but it was also Atmosphere. They called it something different over here. I backed that last year, and it was I love how they updated that. It's so good.
Yeah, I played that once when I was when it was new.
Yeah.
But my friend who had it, his mother at some point went super religious. Like she just decided that's going to be her thing, and then she came in. She's like old school Portuguese mom, and she was like, turn that thing off. Like she's saying all this in Portuguese. She's like, turn that thing off. He's a demon. I don't want him in my house. And he's like, starts yelling at his mom. She's like, because his mom is always nagging at everything he does. So he just snapped. He's like, we don't need you here. It's just a game. Just go upstairs. Leave us alone. Let it play. She's like, see, he's a demon. He's turning you into a demon.
The gatekeeper corrupting children one child at a time. Yeah.
So anyways, we didn't never finish playing because even though she went upstairs, she kept sticking downstairs. She's like, turn that thing off. That's the devil. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to play this. Because my mom was very, she never stopped me from doing anything or prevented.
Yeah.
She never said I couldn't do anything because it was too scary or it was too whatever, too adult. It was more, I couldn't do it because she didn't want to buy it. So if I asked her for, she's like, what do you want this for? Yeah, stupid. Hey, you don't need this. You have TV. So okay.
We may have found your puppy show because
Oh,
it was the mystery dog cartoon was bugging him. So figured looked up a ton of stuff. It says the puppies further adventures, other originally titled the puppies new adventures for season 1. Now you're gonna have to look this up so you can find this. Like,
I'm
holy
gonna find
crap,
out
that
what
was
it
the
is.
thing.
I hear it, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Johnny? How are you doing? And Michael, yes, hold on, let me get that. Let's not sleep on the sucked into TV genre, Captain Kid Video. Yeah, those are fun games. What was that? What was that MTV show too, where they played the video game things and they got to go in the end and they were like, oh, getting the power ups and stuff, and then weird green screen. Yeah, some good times. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Oh, hold on. I think I remember what it's called. I think it was the Biscuits. I haven't found it yet. I think it was called the Biscuits. I'm looking that up now. It just
all
occurred
pups go. RJs. All pups go to Kevin. That is it. That no, but that is also facts. All pups do go to Kevin. Kevin has some lovely doggies.
Yep, it was the Biscuits.
The Biscuits.
I found it.
You best bookmark that page right now.
The Biscuits. It was
nice.
That's excellent.
Yeah, the Mandela Effect dog cartoon. You actually found it. Nice. Yeah, and Kev does have the doggies. Yes, you do.
I pasted the link in there.
Figures already. The Biscuits is the American animated television series produced by Hanna-Barbera Productions from 83 to 84 and aired on CBS. I am more than certain I have already seen this. I can't click it. I'm going to save it so I can look at that later. And we starred that one.
There you go.
Figures never heard of it. Guess what? We're discovering old but new cartoons to all of us in the chat today. You've never heard of it.
There was like a rundown king, I think it was a king of nothing. It was like I can't remember because I haven't seen it since like 84. It was like this rundout king and he had like a gesture or something that was just a total idiot. They were like the bad humans.
I'm gonna watch this. Let's Discord watch this. Let's binge this whole thing. Let's go. I had a lot of weird cartoons back at that time. I loved it. I loved the Wuzzles. There was some weird stuff happening with animals. It was fantastic. It's good times. Yeah, no, it's exciting. I'm having a lot of good time right now. We're gonna nerd out like severely. Great.
Well, they had those guys. Was it the Popples, right? You could
you turn them inside out. I don't know how that worked because they were actual animal cartoon. Like,
they were basically like kangaroos that can go inside their own pockets. And, but yeah, I remember those as kids were great because you just like wrap up and bang people in the back of the head with them.
Aw, Murray Adam West. That's a dog. That's your dog name, Murray Adam West. I like it.
Good name.
Hey, Steve. What's happening?
Hey, sup?
Welcome in. And he says they look exactly like gummy bears. Nice. Now we're watching this. Now we're definitely watching this. I better have a most wicked theme song because what the heck? My thing isn't working. There we go.
It was definitely an attempt at getting that gummy bears Smurf money. You know what I mean?
There were so many things that came out that time that were like gummy, trying to like bank off of all that stuff. Dude, Snorks was my favorite. I like Snorks way better than the Smurfs, even though I watched the crap out of both of those. They were fantastic. He's named after Bill Murray and Adam West. That's okay. I like that, Kev. I like that. You're good peeps, Kev. I love that. And oh my god, the Manji, those things are terrifying. Have you seen like the ones that are like now, but from like the olden day times? Like they look horrific. Those and those QP dolls, oh my gosh, they look terrifying. Quite terrifying.
Just one last like two last cartoons they need to mention for their theme songs is DuckTales, classic. You gotta love DuckTales. And My Pet Monster.
You are hitting at our heartstrings here because I just made a My Pet Roscoe plushie doll over the last year, and I just had Tad Stones on for the DuckTales Kickstarter. We adore our DuckTales here. Fantastic. Your daughter has perfect taste. If your daughter named him, that's amazing, and you did raise her right. That's right, Kev. You had a popple as a kid. You were. That's right. Get you one now, Michael. You can easily get one on eBay. Let's go. eBay is the best thing for getting older and you want some nostalgia. Go find some. They got it everywhere. I am very excited to talk to you about this because you have a very cool thing here, which is actually dope. You're here for, oh my gosh, Kickstarter's not bad.
What's happening?
It's the when you go up here and then it's like, oh, it's taking over your screen and you can't get this off here now. You're like, oh, right here. There we go. You're here for your book called So-Called Living, which is dope. And this is for issues 3 and 4. It's very neat. I like your tagline. A world where the extraordinary is ordinary. Oh, ooh, sounds so cool. I like that. You're already at 61 backers. Way to go. Yeah, you have 19 days to go. You already hit your funding goal. You crushed that. Look at that.
Every time I see these numbers from an American page, it always freaks me out because our Canadian dollar is so
yeah.
So like here it's more than $1,000 more, so it's like 3,800 and something.
Oh
so,
yeah, you're like, I lost all my backers. What happened?
Like, well, the backer number is the same. That doesn't convert. That'd be weird, right?
Yeah.
So, like, so American backers are somehow just worth more. 61 Americans are worth like 48 Canadians.
Your pet monster is one of your childhood. Yeah, it is. It's fantastic. Teddy Ruxpin, another one. Fraggle Rock is one of the best things of all time.
Classic.
Also, any of the songs that you get where you interrupt with a clapping for like a couple seconds is that's gonna be a classic hit right there.
Mm-hmm.
All the classics. And if you are wanting to back, you are going to be doing that. It's going to end on Halloween at 9 a.m. So bada bing, bada boom. That's amazing.
I thought October was the perfect time to launch a dark comedy, you know?
Well, yeah. So. Plus you got all the things that make up what's amazing about October, which is, vampires, werewolves, zombies, and whatnot.
There's a zombie right up front there.
There's I like that his braids are coming out, but it makes him look like he's got some curly little, hipster looking hair, which is fantastic. I like it. So if you want, we can watch your trailer. And if we do that, we're going to have to play that. My favorite game is Am I Muted? So when I unplug, let me know if you can hear me.
You're muted.
Along there. All right. Can you still hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Perfect. There. All right. We're on to watching your trailer now. Okay. Boom. I actually really like your trailer too, because I watched it before then, and I really like how the images interact. It's pretty neat. All right. Let's watch this cool stuff. Let's go. No, hit the play button. Might be nice. There we go.
Jack is back, baby. If you're a fan or were even moderately entertained by So-Called Living books 1 and 2, then you're going to love books 3 and 4. This time around, we've got more action, more laughs, and more of these guys who are not to be trifled with. And the return of everyone's favorite BFBs, Nick and Casper. If you missed it the first time, So-Called Living is a dark comedy about a guy named Jack who gets turned into a vampire and has to learn to adapt to this new way of living. And unbeknownst to Jack, the mob has gotten wind of his newly sired vampire status, and they are very interested, but not in a good way. Books 3 and 4 also introduce some new characters that will play a pivotal role in our evolving storyline, some of which are sure to become fan favorites.
Who's Jenny?
But you know what the best part is? Marco Leone is back. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The amazing artist who poured all that visual goodness into your eyeballs the first time around has got a gravy boat full of artistry that will delight your corneas. A ladle of...
Okay, enough with the food metaphors. We get it. Marco's good, and we're lucky to have him. Just say that.
I was just doing a thing.
I know. Stop it.
Okay. We're really lucky to have Marco. He's really good at the drawings. And that's not all. For our elite covers, we've snagged Doug Wright Award nominee and all-around good guy, John Little, to grace us with this fantastic variant for Book 3. And for our Book 4 elite cover, we have a rare treat indeed, brought to us by the one, the only, Mark Maia. Yeah, I drew this one. Now, if you're looking for variants of the sexy persuasion, allow me to introduce you to our obligatory sex pod editions. This time around, we've called upon the ridiculously talented Larry Twasson to produce a set of what could possibly be our sexiest covers yet. And for our returning backers who joined the Blood Bunny Colony the first time around, check your email for a special deal exclusive to you. Now, if you haven't joined the colony yet, we've got you covered. These adorable keychains are up for grabs yet again. By picking one up, you will be automatically inducted into the Blood Bunny Colony, which unlocks special deals on all future so-called living Kickstarters. But most importantly, you need to know that without you, none of this would have been possible. And for that, I am forever grateful. Thank you.
Blood bunnies. That was cute. I like the blood bunnies.
Hey, yeah, the first time I made the video I made for the first Kickstarter video was kind of like it had the old movie reel feel, you know, like with the waggly lines in front, and then it would like flip up. So I this time I upped it, so I was like kind of like a old VHS archive feel to it, which goes along with our conversation of 80s cartoons. So
no, it fit perfectly. I love that. And what you expect when your money is damaged on Looney Tunes. Oh, the Canadian money. That's right. Yes. And
it's true.
Jay coming in. If you ain't glizzin', you ain't risen. If you haven't noticed, we are pro hot dog in this stream. That is facts, and people are saying fire to your trailer, and it's making them happy. And the bunnies are out. Let's go, bunnies.
The bunnies.
Yeah, it's what happens when you no sleep. You're just living off of monsters, so you just kind of smush up a couple words there. Murder bunnies are everywhere today. Listen, some of my favorite books growing up. I don't know if you've ever watched or listened to the jams of Rabbits on Roller Skates, which was fantastic, and Bunnicula, Good Times, Vampire Bunnies, and Weirdness Galore. Let's go. Yes, very well done, Charlie. Yeah, it was fantastic. That was a good stuff right there. Very cool.
It was a funny story about that is when I was working on like when I did after I did the first one, there was a gap, and then I thought, oh, I was doing another video for my YouTube channel, and I was like, I think for this video, it was like based on a Western. The game was based on a Western. And then not this video, it was the one before that had the old camera looking feel. So I thought, oh, I'll just dig up that that video I did. I'll open up Premiere, find that video, and I probably used a template to just pop in pictures. And then I opened it and I was looking at it, this file, and I was like, I didn't use a template. I actually created these effects. So I kind of give myself a pat in the back. I was like, hey, that video's pretty good. Because I thought I used like, you know, just a canned thing, like import your images. Like that's how much I remember working on it. I don't remember at all. And then I had to open up each individual file and After Effects and Premiere and see the animations I put together. And I was like, oh, I did do this. It all came back to me. So
that's awesome. So you did the first Kickstarter for issues 1 and 2, and this is for 3 and 4. So are you going to do your next one as a group as well?
Yep. It'll be in like probably March or May of next year. It'll be 5 and 6. We haven't started illustrating that yet, but it's written. The script's written. I'll give both scripts a once over before I give it to Marco, because my initial scripts before I hand them off to the artist they're a bit of a mess. So, and yeah, as you're looking at now, here's 3 sample pages of from book 3, I believe.
Yeah. I'm very much into the art style that what was the artist names again that does the interiors?
Oh, Marco Leona.
Okay. I am very much into his style of art. It's very kind of cartoony, and just I love each individual character. They're so unique when you see them, and they have so much expressions. And that's some of my favorite things when I see art, especially on interiors. I love that. So when it does look like it would be a perfect animated series just based on the art alone. So that's super cool.
I looked long and hard for the right artist because I'm a very strong believer in like the art should match the voice of the story, right?
Yes.
So and this is what I was looking for. I was looking for somebody that was in a Humberto Ramos style esque, with like the
Okay.
exaggerated features, big
Yeah.
hands, big feet, and I was like, that would fit.
You did the squiggles on the finger. He did the squiggles on the finger, which is so cartoony. I love that.
Yeah. He's great. The little touches he does is excellent, and he's getting better. Like I think books 3 and 4 look better than 1 and 2, and 1 and 2 looked great. Like everybody kept telling me how great they looked, and they did. He did a great job. So,
oh, I dig it. So, for those of you joining us, because we have like double the amount of people that were here when you actually explain this, can you give another little quick description of what the book is about?
Yeah, sure. So, so-called living is about a guy named Jack who gets turned into a vampire and needs to adapt to this new way of living. So the first problems he comes across is like, I can't get into my apartment because there's nobody to invite me in. That happens in issue 1. So his problems are like are silly at first, right?
Yeah.
But then he's got to just learn to adapt to this new way of living. So he's just making stupid mistakes. Like here, his head's on fire because he walked into the sun. So his buddy Marvin is putting his hair out, and by throwing a tablecloth over him. So
Nice.
it's like things like that he gets into because Jack, who's the vampire, and his friends Tim and Marvin. It's mostly Tim. That's Marvin in that picture, but it's mostly him and Tim. They're kind of like goofballs, right? But while they're learning to adapt, or while he's learning to deal with this new situation, these guys, the mob, what you were looking at before, these guys here, they're very serious people. They don't fuck around. They're not the jokers. So think of it as like the cast of Friends being hunted down by the cast of Sopranos. The cast of Friends is being led by a vampire, and the cast of The Sopranos are just really nasty. Like they're imagine, if you ever watch Sopranos, there's moments where Tony's at his scariest because he's like just irritated with everything. He's just angry. He's just angry with the world. Like Mr. DeLuca's like that all the time. Like he's always that's Mr. DeLuca there pouring the drink. So he's just an angry man, and so the mob is very angry. So it's a dark comedy that it's got very different vibes, and I try to do that when I'm telling the story. So when you're reading parts about the mob, you get a good sense of their world, and then when you're reading parts with Jack, it's very much a little goofier, a little sillier, but their worlds are about to collide. So even though Jack thinks his biggest problem is like, I can't get into my apartment, I can't walk out in the sun, etc., etc. He doesn't realize that the mob is looking for him. At least he wasn't in books 1 and 2. The mob definitely gets closer in books 3 and 4. So 1 and 2 kind of introduced Jack's situation, and books 3 and 4 lay the foundation for a bigger story.
Let's see.
And we also see the return of one of the favorite characters that showed up in the first 2 books were Nick and Casper, which were the vampires, and they make a return. That's Nick on the cover there with his mouth open. And Casper, you can kind of see Casper behind him. He's choking somebody out. They're big ass. In the video, they're called BFVs, big fucking vampires.
Oh my god, I love that.
So that's them. And
this
you were
is so cute.
You're looking at the bunny kind of like motif that's happening throughout the whole thing.
I love these bunnies. I can't wait to find out what's actually happening to these bunnies, because they actually look like Swiss Army knives for some reason when you're looking around there. But I dig this. But I don't know how well this is reading on the screen. But if you could just go to this page and like just zoom in on every single one of these characters, this one right here is my favorite. He's just getting, I don't know, they're all getting like bitten, like just choked, and all kinds of terrible things are happening to them, but every one of their faces is just majestic. Just go in and zoom in on this. It's great. That's so fun.
Yeah,
I love that.
The guy you pointed out, that's Tim. That's Jack's like best friend. In front of them is their third friend. It's Marvin. So he's not around as much, but he's there.
And then here you have all your issues for 3 and 4. So you got the bunny one done by you, by the way. Oh, you did a fantastic drawing some bunnies.
Thank you.
And then you have the one with the martini glass, and then you have the 2 babe versions. Oh my!
And check check these out. They were original pencil sketches. Like they're not digitally drawn. They're hand drawn.
Oh wait. Oh, there we go. Oh,
they're like pencil and
nice.
inked, like by hand. Like they're
so good.
They're not digital. This is not a print. This is the actual paper he drew on. So I commissioned them and he sends me those and they're beautiful. Like the amount of detail he does is crazy. And he holds a magnifying glass when he's working because the amount of detail he puts into it.
Yeah, because if you go back to this page right here, just the amount of dudes that are in this pool back there, and then the amount of faces that are in on this cover, yeah, you're gonna need a magnifying glass for that.
Yeah,
that's
so he's amazing. He does a great job.
Oh, that's fantastic. So yeah, so you have your issue 3 and issue 4 here, and then down here you have all the covers. Yeah, and then you have your variants down here. Nice. I do like the standard covers. They're fun. I like this town with the bats. Like, it's very ominous. They're like, oh no, what's happening? Does that say Tranquility Towers?
Yeah, Tranquility Towers.
Nice. But yeah, the characterizations are just absolutely fabulous. I love that. I love seeing this.
Marco nailed it. Like, he did a great job.
I'm just looking at all the art on here, but we will go over all your tiers as well.
Sure.
Because it's just fun seeing this art on here. And these bunnies, these bunnies are killing me. I love that. He's just out and about wearing this giant pink like blanket thing.
Yeah, and that's all explained. Explained why he's not happy, but yeah, he's going through some stuff. Right now.
He's got to be going through some stuff. He looks like he's having a rough time. They all look like they're having some kind of rough time. I don't know what's happening in this page, but this is hilarious. There's like a zombie guy.
Yeah.
Altercation with a zombie guy. This poor guy right here.
Yeah, they're being attacked by zombies in the car at that point. So
and this I chose this as for the cover because this is hilarious. I love this little lady here. I don't know if she's trying to steal her purse or helping him put the purse back on. Yeah. He's missing his arm. He's just down to a bone. And this guy with his brain toupee. This is so good. I love these.
Yeah, I love the character that Marco puts in there. Is like he's got some skills, so he does a great job of getting that emotion out on the characters, which is fantastic.
Yes, and for like these zombie guys, just to do like a basic like rotting head, like each individual head has like this super like characteristic that's unique. Like look at this guy. He's fun.
Yeah, and he pushes things that some artists might look at and be like, it's kind of weird if you examine it, but he makes it work. He works it and he just wraps it up, like big hands, big feet, and he just.
Oh, I like that.
He does a great job.
It's a lot of fun. You got crew covers there, and then I like this guy. The guy's cool.
Mr. DeLuca is a badass, yeah.
Yeah, and then this lady, I can't tell if she's like a puppet or something. And she gives me like puppet vibes. Like
she's just the girl at the club. She exists in that one panel.
Just in the one panel. Oh man. Yeah. And this pool party here is she's living her dream. All these guys and ladies in the pool are having a lovely time, except for him.
It's a zombie pool party.
I'm not sure what's in his head, but yeah, he did not have a good time, but he's there now.
It's like a railway spike. It's like a railroad spike or something.
Yeah.
Every time I look at that photo, I find new things in there.
I thought this guy had 3 eyes for a second. It was just his nose. But and I love this fight scene. Their claws are out. They're fighting. Yeah, that's fun. There's a lot of very exciting stuff happening in every single one of these images. Oh, look at how cute this is. I love the characterizations in these faces.
Yeah, and it's fun putting I put this the Kickstarter page together, and it's fun like going through Marco's art and trying to see how I can make it work and piece them together to make this page. And I thought it's fun to do.
Oh, that's a lot of fun. I dig that. And I love an artist that you could tell really enjoys what they're doing, because you could tell he has just so much fun doing these characters. And I love seeing that. Yeah, it's so cute. And then, everyone loves so-called. Nice. I really like this.
Yeah, it's a little 50-second review video. You can click it if you want to watch it.
You can click it.
Yeah.
You can click it. Incident reviews. Look at that. Let's see here. Oh, it's on your channel. Nice. I already subscribed to you. So yes, go follow. Here, I'll actually paste this in the chat too, so people can go click this and watch this if they want to. Wait, where am I?
Yeah, it's a short video. It's 55 seconds. It's
Perfect.
it's in the style. It's from the first Kickstarter because I haven't. When I did the first Kickstarter, I pushed the Kickstarter from November to March, so I had all my YouTube chats before it came out, so I was able to put a video together quickly. Where now I still doing videos, so.
No, you do some really well done videos. I like some of the ones I've seen on your page so far. So this is gonna be cool. I have a feeling we're gonna see a lot of familiar faces. So let's watch this. This is cool. For a minute, let's go. Bunnies.
This thing is stunning. Check it out. It definitely looks like something we should be jumping on.
Marcus and Lorenzo.
It's refreshing. The jokes in it, the humor were fantastic.
The book is so much fun. Like, I really did enjoy reading the book. I was done. I was like, this is great.
Am I backing this book?
Yeah, for sure. That's right up Chris's alley.
If he does even half a good job as he does with these videos, I know these are going to be fantastic.
I mean, it's amazing artwork, for sure.
The least vampire-y vampires I've ever seen, and I love them.
Definitely gonna back once this goes official live.
You son of a bitch, take my money.
Very cool. Yeah.
That was for
some
Buzz
good,
One,
some good reviews right there. All right.
So that's it for video content on this on the page.
That's funny. What's up, Bo? How are you doing? So is that Morgan? He's a legend.
Yeah, Morgan's great.
Nice. That was so fun. I love that. But yeah, this is just I dig these characters so much. Wait, hold on, let me get rid of this. So much. There's a lot of fun. I love just like the absolute uniqueness of each one. And I want to figure out what is going on with these bunnies. This is adorable. I don't know what's going on with the bunny, but I can't, I'm in. I need to know what's happening with the bunnies.
When you're ready for me to tell you about the Kickstarter, the elements in here, I'm more than happy to. I just was letting you peruse and do your thing.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get to the end of this here, and then we'll do that because I'll actually go over every one of your tiers as well. But oh, look at this guy's face! Look at he's so cool. And then you got add-ons as well. You get all books signed. You get the bunny keychain, the blood bunny keychains. This is a lot of coolness happening here. Yeah, it's exciting. I really like this. Oh, let's see. And you got the interviews again down here. Boom, you can go watch them here.
Yeah, that goes to like a playlist of like 24 interviews.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, if you click it, it just takes you here. You get all the interviews. You get all the cool people up in here.
Yeah, I try to organize it so the stuff from the new Kickstarter on top. So.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of homies in there. They're good people.
A lot of info in there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff in there. And then I like that you have a really good breakdown of your shipping costs because you are shipping outside of the US, which is pretty neat, and North America, by the way. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and all the prices here are Canadian. So I was on, I can't remember who I was talking to. We went through them, and it was impressive how much of a discount it is for Americans, or like how much, like the sticker. That's why I went through again. And I put CAD on everything because you might look at something that says like $80 and think, oh, that's $80 is too much. But if in the States, it's 60.
Yeah. That's right. Let the campaign wash over you. That's right, Jay. Yeah, because on my side, which is going to be interesting, it'll actually have the US prices on my side. So when I click it, you're going to get all different kind of prices. So I know like the Australians and the UK guys, when they click it, they're going to see even a third price. So yeah, no, that's fun. But no, I love that you are shipping globally because a lot of times the shipping is just so expensive. But because you are shipping probably out of Canada, you're getting a discount as well because it's so much cheaper for you guys to ship outside than it is for us to ship outside. It's ridiculous.
It's cheaper for me to ship to the States than it is most places in Canada.
I don't understand how any of this works. Does that make sense to me? It's so weird.
Shipping in Canada is so expensive. That's why the price difference is like $2. And that's like $10 Canadian to ship anywhere in Canada and $12 to ship anywhere in the States. So that's like, I think that's like $10 for you, if that. So
Yeah,
and
that's so completely cheap. The last 2 times I tried to ship something to Canada, the one went to $65, and it was just a normal size package. And the second one, I was like, you know what, this is probably not going to be 2 pounds. And I had them give me an estimate for 2 pounds, and it was like $26. So I was like, all right. So then I was like, this is fine. It's nothing. It's not going to be in there. So I put an extra like sticker or something in the box. So I gave it to them, and it was 1 ounce over, and it bumped it from $26 to $38. And I was like,
yeah,
what? How? That makes no sense to me. It is bananas.
I backed one book, and I wasn't really paying attention to the cost. It was a single book from the States.
Yeah.
And the shipping was $28. That was more than the book.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, well, that's done.
Yeah. It's harsh.
That was the first time I backed a physical book from from the States, like, because most of my backings are board games, but that's the first time I backed like a comic book, and I backed it, and I didn't look at the price, and it was like $28 for shipping. So when I did mine, I tried really hard to keep shipping costs down as much as possible. In some cases, I'm just like eating the difference, right? Because
sometimes you got to, because it is so rough on the people, especially like in the UK, Asia, or Australia, that want a book from the US. And if you aren't going to be printing from like Europe, Canada, or Australia just to find a printer over there to go ship from there to that way, that would save people costs. It is insane how much, like, sometimes you're going to get anywhere from $35 to $50 just for shipping, depending on how much stuff is in your box. And I tell people this all the time when they come on here. If you don't have a digital tier, you're seriously just kicking yourself in your own ass, because the people can't afford to ship. Sometimes 3 times the amount of a $10 book. It doesn't make sense for them to do that. But it's crazy.
Well, at a minimum here, if you get anything physical, you're getting 2 books. But
that's right.
Like the shipping cost, like to anywhere in the States, you could get, if last time I remember, is like you could get up to 12 books, like 2. That's 2 all-ins, and it doesn't change the shipping cost, so it still stays.
Oh, that's lovely.
12 bucks, it still stays like in one package, 12 books, still stays $12. So again, that's $12 Canadian.
Oh, so cool. Yeah, let's go over your tiers, and then we're done. Then you can get us in the little nitty gritties of all the little things and tell us about these freaking bunnies.
I'm all ready.
I am so excited. So if you just want to make a pledge, boom, just right there. You just do that with nothing. And then if you come down here, if you just want the PDFs, so you're going to get digital bundle. The standard covers 3 and 4. It's $14, so it's about $11 US, which is pretty neat. You get that in there. So you get 2 of those. And then down here, wait, why is this so there we go. I was like, what is happening? If you want the standard covers, which I actually really like, they're nice. I like the mealy vampire cover, just biting people everywhere, and you got that cool haunted looking whatever thing is back there. That's neat. So $25, roughly $19 US. And then
that gets you the physical. That gets you the physicals and the digitals.
Nice.
And that cover you mentioned, that's probably one of my favorite pieces from Marco.
It was that one right there.
It was like the one with the fighting. That's one of my favorite pieces from Marco. It was one of the few things that we were so in sync. Like I gave him the idea for it. I was like, okay, Mark, I was in bed, and I did it. I drew it quickly on my iPad, and I did like stick people, basically, like one level up above stick people, and I color coded them. And I was like, okay, the blue guy's Nick, this person's Casper, this person. So I was like, just to give you an idea, I was like, they don't have to be in these poses exactly, but just to give you an idea what I'm looking for. I was like, I just want bodies everywhere. I want people on top of each other fighting. That's what I want.
He nailed it.
And then he sent me the first sketch like 2 days later, and I was like, "You nailed it!" I was like, "Yes!" And I was showing everybody. He's like, "Look what Marco did! Look what Marco did! Look at this cover! Look at this!" That was my. It's like it was.
Zoom in on this. Seriously, you need to zoom in on this and see these faces. They're just freaking hilarious. Like this guy is biting this guy, and he's over here freaking out. This guy is choking that guy. Just seeing his face just go. It's so cute. This guy's getting punched. I don't even know who he's getting punched by, but he's getting punched. There's some dude missing in this crowd right here, and then it's just stuff happening. It's so much fun. I love
that. Guy on his knees just doing it.
He probably got trampled on. He's just like, I'm taking you out as I'm down here. Yeah, that's fun. So I'm going to click on this just to see roughly what shipping is. So you got to the United States for 2 books, by the way, is about $12 Canadian. So that's actually cheaper. That might be about $8. And then if you want Australia, Canada, New Zealand, United Kingdom, so you're not shipping everywhere, but you're shipping to like the main places that will get some stuff. You got various shipping ins here as well. So
yeah, I'm shipping it to a lot of places, but not every place.
Yeah.
So.
No, those are some good places. But yeah, you're also offering up the digitals too for the people that can't get it, because I know a lot of people, even myself included, like I can't back every campaign, but if I do, I can back it digitally. That way I can at least read the book and, you know, help some people out. But no, that's fantastic. And then the so-called living, the elite covers. So what makes these the elite covers?
So elite covers, this is the same format that I used for the first 2 books. And elite covers are guest artists, and they're limited. So they're like only 500 of these are going to be printed, and then they're done. And so in the first time I had Derek Loffman, who's an amazing artist. His Kickstarter just finished and he crushed it, like $96,000. He's done work for like Marvel. He's designed toys. He's amazing. Anyways, he did the variant for book number 1.
There you go.
And then I had a famous photographer from Toronto do cover number 2. So for this time around, I got John Little. He did the yellow cover. And he wanted to do something that was kind of inspired by classic. He was showing me his picture of like this Daredevil book where it's just Daredevil and just against a yellow back. So it's very simple, just focus on the character. And I was like, all right. And then I had an idea, and I was like, okay, John, here's an idea for you. I was like, I drew a triangle with like stick people falling out of it, pouring into a giant sea. And I was like, imagine like a big mouth just drinking the character's back out of his glass. And I was like, and the mouth would be Mr. DeLuca, and the 3 guys would be the friends. And he's like, yeah, I like that idea. And then he came back with this, and I was like, John's got a very specific style to him. And when he came back with this, I was like, it's so John, it's perfect, it's exactly what I wanted. And then but when he originally sent it, he sent it with just the traditional, with the basic so-called living logo that I designed our basic logo, and he just pasted on there. But I was like, something doesn't look right, so I redesigned the logo for this issue so it looks like a bad photocopy.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah, it looks like the ink kind of ran out in that one section. Yeah, I like it.
That's kind of what I did. I thought it suited this better. And and John, like, he was up for some big awards here in Canada for his comic Power 9.
Okay.
And so he's been doing great. So I was happy to have him on board. And then the next one was actually supposed to be somebody else. But something happened last minute, so I had to do something. I tried to find another artist, and they're like, yeah, we can do it. I can start October 5th. And I was like, no. I was like, Kickstarter starts October 1st, so I need something before then. So I drew this bunny cover, and I wanted to do something different. So I was like, okay, I want to try to do something a little different. So I did something stylized. So I went with really, really clean lines. I went with simple 3 colors. So it's like pink, blue, black.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to do just bunnies in kind of honor of the Blood Bunny Colony members. So so it's a little shout out to them. And so it's just a bunch of bunnies, because bunnies are going to play a part in the story, and they do play a part in the story. But right now, their part is kind of in the background. They're there, but they're subtle story in the background. We can get to that later.
We can get to that soon, because we got Kelly going, ooh, rabbit. And Kelly, you missed all the 80s nerd talk about games and TV series. You missed it. But yeah, bunnies, they're adorable. I can't wait to figure out what's happening on this. And my favorite part of this cover over here, the yellow one, I can't tell if you can see this or not from the screen here, is the weird body here that's coming up this guy's face. Even his nose, it's fantastic. It's just little doohickey hairs all over the place. I love it.
So like I said, that's why I like John's style. He's unique.
It's so fun. I like that. And if you want this tier here, which is for the elite covers, which is the bunny and the martini glass, it's for issues 3 and 4. That's about $30 Canadian, about $22 US. Let's see. Shipping is still the same.
It's going to be the same for all of them.
Yeah. Oh, perfect. And if you want the sex pot covers, which are probably my favorite covers, I think. I love this weird zombie pool party thing that's happening on here. I love that. Let me see if I can find that again. That's
the obligatory sex pot edition.
There we go. That's what right here.
Yep. And this one actually, when the colorist is Casby Studios, and so it's a group of guys that just do, guys and girls that do colors, and they colored both of these covers. But when they came back with the zombie one the first time, I thought it was too much purple, and then they came back with another version. And I was like, oh, it's too dull. So then I took both of the versions together, and I did a fade out. So I kept the purple in the front, and I kind of dulled out the back. And then I took the purple out of the water, and what I did was I changed the logo to be this neon purpley color, and then I reflected the logo in the water. So if you look at the purple that's in the water, it's actually the logo being reflected into the water.
Okay. Yeah, I see that right here.
Yeah, so I added my own little bit of artistic creativity into there.
I like it. I like the greenish, purpley-ish blobs happening there.
And
I know West Coast problems. I know. Yeah.
So, and the reason it's got the badge, the obligatory sex pot edition, is because when I was doing my homework, it was like one of the things I realized, it was like, if you want to have a successful Kickstarter, you need sexy comics, right? So, and the thing is, like, there's nothing sexy about so-called living. Like, there's no nudity, there's no sexy people in it. So I thought I'll have fun with this, and I'll just make like almost cosplay versions, right? So there's no sexy zombies, but I did but there's a scene where you see like zombies, a bunch of zombie heads in the pool. So I was like, what if there's a sexy zombie girl coming out of the zombie filled pool?
I like that. That's fun.
And then you saw the fighting scene in the bar with all the guys, and I was like, what if all the girls in the bar were fighting? So
and they're getting vicious too. Let me tell you, there's claws happening. They got bottles going on here. There's clothes being shredded. Oh yeah. They got some stuff happening. That's awesome.
That was inspired by the bar ball of all guys. I was like, oh, let's have one that's all girls, right?
Oh, that's fun. I like that. I like that you're having fun with these too. This is good times. Let's see. If you want the catch-up collection, so you get books 1 through 4. It's about 45, which is about 33 USD, and that is all the standard covers. So that's cool too.
And it's $5 off. Like if you notice the little price, it's got the little red tag on there. So it's like normally both those, because that's from the first Kickstarter and the second, would be 50, but you can get it for 45. You get them here, so you can get all the physical copies, digital and physical, of the standard editions for 45 or 33 in American dollars.
Very, very cool. And how many pages are each issue?
Each of these issues, books 1 and 2 are both 24 pages.
Okay.
Books 3 and 4 are both 28 pages.
Oh, look at you upgrading.
Yep. I think I can't remember which issue it is, but there's one coming up that I believe is like 32 pages. So
some stuff happens in that book. Okay, cool. Okay, so you're breaking this down. So you have standard covers on every campaign. You have elite covers on every campaign, which are the very limited things. So the elite covers for this book, we get issues 1 through 4. It's about 55, so about $40 USD. Then you have the Fancy Pants Sex Pot covers, which I have not seen the ones for the first 2 issues, but I can get a glimpse here. You have the blonde. Looks like she's hustling some kind of sundae or a drink beverage.
That one. What was funny about those is it's like they're based on characters that are in the book, and those characters are very plain Janie, just regular looking girls, right? But they're main characters in those, or they're not main characters necessarily, but they are characters that play parts in those books. So I was like, what if we just make sexy versions of those 2 characters, and like, we'll like boobify them, we'll give them skimpy outfits, but the outfits are skimpy versions of what they're wearing. So what I like to compare this to is like when you go to like Comic-Con and you got like girls dressed as sexy Mario and sexy Luigi, like sexy Sponge.
Exactly.
Like that's what it's like. So it's like the cosplay version.
Funny, but also sexy at the same time. That's what it is.
And again, you can see the badges on those, obligatory sex pot, because like we're trying to like be honest as possible. It's like we gotta have it.
That's hilarious to me. Yeah, I think that's fun. So you have a limited quantity of 300 of these, and then the top one, no limit on those too. So it looks like the sex pot one is limited. So if you want the sex pots, 65, about 48, which is pretty neat because you get some very limited covers, by the way.
Actually, there is a limit to 300 on the sex pot ones. I just forgot to put that number down, and there's 500.
It says 300.
Oh, it does say okay, and there should be 500 on the on the elite ones.
Oh yeah, that one doesn't say
So
500.
that one doesn't say it.
Yeah,
So that's fine.
yeah.
I don't think we're going to sell 500 of that package, so we're okay.
I mean, you don't know. You could get some giant company that goes, "Hey, I want 500 of these" out of nowhere.
Great.
I mean,
Sold.
it's happened.
Sold.
Yeah, I mean, take them. You got it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Then you want all the books. So you're going to get both copies of all the issues, issues 1 and 2, 3, and no, this is all 3 and 4. So you're going to get, you're going to get the standards, the elites, and the sex pots of both issues for $80.
Yeah, so it's
$59.
all the covers for less than $60, and you get the PDF that has the PDF also has all the covers in. So it's all the covers and books 1 and 2 in one giant PDF.
Oh, nice. That's cool. So that's a lot of reading right there. Well,
what I love about this, like people love the covers because if you notice, there's 14 backers on the all in, and there's like 16 backers in the standard. So just as many people get the all in as the standard.
That's right. Yeah, I like that.
Which is great. Right. So that says a lot to me about the covers. Like I don't look at the individual numbers and saying, "Oh, people must not be liking the elite as much or not liking the sex pot as much." I look at it as like they're liking all of them. That's why the all ins are doing so well.
Yeah.
So, which is great.
Yeah, it's interesting to me, like what people collect on campaigns. Because if some people that I know, like, will go to a store and buy something, they buy something completely different than they do on a campaign.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting to me to see what actually sells on campaign stuff because people buy things that they wouldn't normally do if they would go into a store.
True.
Yeah, and I like this cover. This is probably one of my favorite covers because it gives me like Scooby-Doo vibes, but also like, I don't know, I like these kind of weird housey type things. I like watching exploration stuff, so I like that.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It's and you can see it's like Tim saying "Home Sweet Home," so that's him inviting Jack to his house, and Jack looks terrified.
Aww.
So Jack's like cowering behind him.
Yeah, which is hilarious because he's the vampire.
Yeah, but he's a new vampire. Right? Everything's new to him. He's not used to the vampire lifestyle, vampire strength. He's not used to that.
And I like this guy. This guy's got some saucy hair here. He's quite the stud. I can't wait to see him like kick some butt. He is the head of the mafia. You said these covers are fun. They're just fun, and that's cool too because I like it because it's fun. It's the the sex pot edition, but it's also tasteful. So
and that's the thing. I've kind of laid a rule down again. Not that I have nothing against like sexy covers at all. I have no hang-ups or anything, but and nothing offends me. But I made kind of a rule for So-Called Living where there's never going to be a nude cover.
Okay.
So that's not a thing. If there's ever any nudity in the book, I can't imagine why there would be, but if there is, it would be for a vital, like a story reason that's important. Even if I did, I'd probably cover it because I feel like there's not that I have anything against it. It's just it wouldn't fit having just
your bunnies aren't wearing any clothes though. So there you go. There's your
I like to think that they're wearing like a fur onesie.
Oh, okay. All right. Fur onesie. All right. So right here, you have the Blood Bunny Colony So-Called Living official member. So would you like to explain more about the bunnies?
Yeah. Ooh. So, okay. First of all, as far as these keychains go, we make these. So the art of the bunny was drawn by a friend of mine, Jamie, and he drew this a long time ago. He was supposed to be the original artist on the book, but that didn't work out we're still good, but it didn't work. That relationship didn't work out. But I found the low res version of it and I redrew it in Illustrator and then I blew it up and then I gave it to my wife who's got a laser cutting machine upstairs and we make these in the house and they're really nice. They look just like this and they're about like that big, like they're good size and they're not too big, they're not too small, they're good size. We made a few copies to try to figure out just the right size of them and they on the back they say official member of the Blood Bunny Colony. So thing is when you get these keychains, I should have one here ready so I can show you because we have one upstairs. And if you get one, you're automatically inducted into the Blood Bunny Colony. And what that means is your email gets put onto a list, your Kickstarter email gets put onto a list. And then for every So-Called Living Kickstarter that we do in the future, you'll always gain a benefit of some sort. So you'll either get like right now, if you back the first Kickstarter and you picked up the keychain, those members get either a free upgrade from standard to elite or from elite to sex pot. And if they don't want the upgrade, instead they can opt for the limited edition print and sticker set and they'll get that for free.
Ooh,
So that's not even
cool.
available as an add-on. So that they would just get for free. And all those, so the upgrades are free and the stickers are free. And those are like benefits if you join. So anybody who gets this keychain will get benefits for the next So-Called Living Kickstarters. And even though this story is scheduled to wrap up after 8 issues, I plan on there's still going to be more So-Called Living stuff that happens. Just the story wraps up in 8 issues.
I like that. I'm a sucker for side stories. I tell people this all the time. I'm not a fan of like the main runs of comics. I like the weird one shots and like the weird 2 to 3 mini series stuff. That's my go-to. And Jay says she said it was a good size. Oh my. Way to go, Jay.
So, and it's the end. If you see me at a show, I have these keychains there as well, but not these ones exactly, because you only get the bonuses if you back it on Kickstarter. If you buy them at a show, on the back they don't say official member. They say there's 2 options. One will say cute but deadly, and the other one will say I'll swallow your soul. Those are the 2 different things they say on the back of them, and those are the versions you can get at the show. These ones are only available to people who back on Kickstarter.
Oh, and I like that. Like, they look like a little pet tag, like they would put on like a collar. They're cute.
Yeah, so
they're
those
very cute.
They're very durable and they're great. They're black and white acrylic. So they're white acrylic, and when you laser cut into them, the black comes through.
Ooh, neat. So that's cool.
They're really cool.
I like that. So for $8 as an add-on, that's actually a pretty good deal, because for the lifetime of any Kickstarter. Now, is this only for the So-Called Living, or is this any Kickstarter that you might
anything that goes under So-Called Living? But I'm not ruling out the idea that I might extend that to anything that Maia Comics does. So
interesting. Okay.
So that is possible. Because last thing I want to do is like sell these on the last Kickstarter and then just never do a So-Called Living thing again.
Well, these would be the OG status. That's how you know, like, when you got inducted into the Blood Bunny game.
But at the very least, you're gonna get an awesome keychain.
Kyle, this is a good question. Do you qualify as living? Yes. You're the. Yes, I would say yes.
Promiscuous time traveler, right?
Yes. Well, technically, yes, but also no, because you're promiscuous and you're time traveling across all the eons. You're never technically in the same time for enough that you are actually here, present in the time happening right now, type thing. That makes sense to you. So yes and no. You're never going away at any time. You're just existing forever. Yeah.
And one thing, like, if anybody's curious, the story about the bunny in the book is kind of like a mystery. So in the first issue, we laid down some ground rules really fast. There is, because this is a world where anything can happen and everybody's used to it. So it's not an apocalyptic future. It's just a world like ours that we're living in. You could be a vampire and I know you're a vampire and there's no secrets here. And we're totally cool with each other. But in the very first page, there's like a zombie outbreak on the news. And like Jack is like, oh my God, can you believe what's happening? And then you cut to him and he's talking about they put gravy on his fries and he didn't want gravy on his fries. And that's what he's upset about. And then his girlfriend's watching TV and she's like bored out of her mind watching this zombie breakout. And then as they totally ignore it, in the background, you see, the zombie cleanup crew, they came in, they tied up the zombies. It was just, so I teach you right away on page 1 or 2 that, okay, zombie outbreaks happen, but they're common day. They take care of them like there was a raccoon under your porch. There's a team that comes in and cleans them up and you're good to go. But while they're talking in the background in the news, there's this report about bunnies and how it's like the world unions, the world powers are getting together at a special conference to discuss the bunny problem. And then the guy turns off the TV. So it's just like a hint. It was like, what was that about? And nobody pays attention to it. It was just on. So it's what I like the idea is that in this world full of monsters, everybody's concerned about the bunnies.
The bunnies? I can't wait for that to happen. Also, if you watch the trailer that we played originally, you get to see a couple of the moments about the gravy on the fries. I was going to ask you if that was poutine or just chili fries.
It was chili fries. It's chili fries.
Yes.
And there's just a shot. It's like part of the humor in the book was like, he ordered fries with no gravy, and he's like, he was all I'm gonna tell this guy off, and he doesn't. And he's like, the guy's like, yeah, I'll take care of it. And then he brings them back chili fries, and he's like, okay, thanks. And that's not what he wanted either. So he just walks off and accepts it. So because all he wanted was fries. But anyways, that's a story. And actually, if anybody's interested, book 1 is free on Global Comics. You can just read the version of book 1 free.
Yeah, I will also link that down below in case anybody wants to get a sneaky peek taste of that before they back anything. I can link that below.
Sneaky peek taste.
That's right. And this poor guy is the main character, and he looks like he is forever just getting wrecked, like all the time.
Yeah, he in that picture, that's right after he got dropped out a window.
Oh,
and so I won't say any more than that, but he got dropped out a window. And there's certain details you should notice in that photo, like there's a chain on that bed.
Yes,
bed is chained down.
Yeah, there's some eyeballs happening right there.
Yeah. So
also looks like a banana peel. Something happened with the banana peel.
I think if I remember correctly, he just gave it to him because he fell in a dumpster when he got dropped out the window.
Oh, okay. He's like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, why did you give me this? Thank you. He's got sticks and stuff in his hair. Oh, poor guy, just getting wrecked.
He does.
And then this is funny here because if you look at this, you're like, why is somebody holding a cross up to these bunnies? Like, why? Like, what's going on with the bunny situation?
The situation is nobody knows how to deal with the bunnies, so they'll just do whatever they can. And this guy's it's just a sign to show that they're evil, right? So that was kind of, and so he's holding a cross up to them. But I can tell you right now, so far, there's never been any sign of the bunnies doing anything other than just sitting there looking cute.
Well, of course, they're observing and figure out the situation, and they're sneaky little turds. So we're gonna see what happens with those guys. I can't wait to see what happens. This is funny, and I love this guy. This guy is just all kinds of gnarly. Reminds me of like old school, like 80s, like sticker graffiti art.
Zombies in this world are like they're people that live on. They're like street people. So all the street people are zombies. So and they're not a huge issue until they start, gathering and attacking people. So that scene you saw where they're in the car and he's like, there's a zombie like attacking him. They're driving to Tim's place, and they drive through the zombie infested streets, and one ends up in the car, and there's a line where Jack's like, pull over. And then Tim's like, you got a lot of things to learn about living in the ghetto. Rule number 1, never get out of the car. So,
yeah, that was one of my favorite panels that I saw with you're here. He's just like this right here. I don't know what this guy is or who this guy is, but he's getting wrecked by, and I always like, I don't know why, but there's always like a heaping pile of trash in like the Oscar the Grouch trash can.
Yep.
Like just all around. Apparently in, these kind of times, the garbage guys don't come around, but you think that would be like the perfect job for like a zombie is, just garbage guy.
If you can train them, maybe we can.
You can train them. They could go and collect all the garbage.
Rehabilitation program or something.
Okay, so good stuff. You're just joining us. This right here is let me stop this for a second. Right here, it's called So-Called Living, and this is for Kickstarter for issues 3 and 4. It's pretty dope. And what is up, Beckerman? How are you doing? And let me present this. Go back here. And I'll go back to the screen again so that you guys can see the actual cover on the page here. This one. There we go. Ta-da. So this is some panels of here. And then if you go here, this is the actual Kickstarter page right here. Let me see, am I on the right panel? Yep. So you have So-Called Living. This is for issues 3 and 4. They already hit their funding goal, and they have 19 days to go. So it will end on Halloween. And it's a delightful, just fun story about this guy that gets turned into a vampire and all kinds of shenanigans happens. And we're trying to figure out what these sneaky bunnies are up to. So apparently they hold a
good. So as the story evolves, you learn more and more about the bunnies. But the way I like to tell the story is that you never really there's nobody out there that just explains what's happening in this world, like, because you don't, like, if we're just talking and there's like an alien watching us talk, we're not going to just start explaining about random things unless we start talking politics. Like, we're not going to really just start talking about random things. We talk about, like, we have an understanding that both of us know what's happening in this world. So that's how I treat it here. I don't have anybody that's like an exposition machine that's just sitting there explaining things. So, and I try to write the dialogue. I try to be clever about it, try to make it funny, try to make it witty. So when you're reading it, you can kind of catch on as the reader. I'd like to think like, I want to give my readers credit. Like we're intelligent people, we're intelligent people. We can read this and figure it out for ourselves and be like, oh, I kind of get what's going on. I like the alien love. That's good.
Yeah. You mentioned aliens. I had to bring up our homie, our resident alien. I had to bring him up.
so yeah, that's the thing. Like they know about the bunnies, but they never come out and explain the bunnies. And you can tell. So you kind of judge everything based on their reaction of it. And currently for them, the bunnies is mostly an issue that's happening somewhere else, and it's not happening to them. So it's not a huge concern for them. It's like when you hear terrible things happen on the news.
Yeah.
They're not happening to you.
It's not happening right here, right now. So
that's a problem right now.
Yeah. Until it gets here. Yeah. But no, this is exciting. And if you are just popping in here, go check out the page because there's a very good video on there. There's a good video with reviews on it. We have Lorenzo, Marcus, Wednesday Night Reviews. A bunch of our homies are actually in the video checking it out, but they're actually good reviewers anyway. So go listen to them. They know what they're talking about. But if you see the characters and the art here, that's one of my favorite things that's about this. Each one of the characters is very, very, very expressive. He just has like free range to do what he wants to do with these characters, and he really lets their emotions shine when he's drawing these pictures, and I love that.
It's like Marco doesn't speak English, so when I talk to him, because he's in Italy, and when I talk to him, it's all like typey. So he probably uses it to translate. His English is getting better since I started.
Nice.
But there's some things lost in translation. Like I had a hard time explaining gravy fries to him. That was
gravy fries. Oh, okay. I have a question
chili
now.
Fries. Chili fries. Sorry, I was trying to explain chili fries.
Okay, so that's a question right here. If you told him gravy fries, what did he originally draw, and how did he think the recipe for gravy fries? What did that happen?
It was chili fries. That's what I meant to say. But yeah, I tried to give him. I tried to get him to draw chili fries, and he just didn't get it. He had fries with like chilies, like big old chilies coming out of it, like chili peppers, and I was like, no, not that. And I tried to find a photo of it, and then I
that's so funny. I love that. I mean, that would be hilarious because you could actually put that in there, because if you have like, okay, let's say like the zombie people just start getting daily jobs and they don't know what's happening, or they don't have like their full head is there because, brains and stuff. Yeah, you could have them run like food stands, but like mess up everyone's orders. Like that's perfect. And we don't speak of the bunnies, not yet, but they're there. But you could also be part of the Blood Bunny colony and get yourself some cool stuff happening if you sign up on the Kickstarter. So yes.
Keychain and membership.
Kyle says, wait, a comic that doesn't question your intelligence? No. They're having fun. This is a fun story just to go in and read. It's fun. It does, yes. And you actually had my homies, the Mac Bros on as well earlier. And I love those guys. Those guys are so much fun. And what's up, Ray? How are you guys doing? I see that. What's up, Ray? I see that Good Stuff. If you guys don't know Good Stuff, go check him out. He's got himself a cookbook on his website right now that they're getting crowdfunded. So go check that out. It has a bunch of cool stuff in it. Oh, nice. I like seeing cookbooks. Cookbooks are fun. I like seeing new recipes and stuff. And Ray actually helped build that site. What's up, Austin? How are you doing? He just kept putting ice cubes on the fries.
It's just funny, some things like. There's a part where I described like Tim turns to Jack. I put in the description, Tim turns to Jack and offers him a high five, and Jack just looks at him, and then I got this thing where he was like holding his hand up like and I was like, what is happening? And then because I've never been to Italy, I know things are different, and I was like, do they not use the term high five in Italy? Maybe not. Or maybe just it didn't translate well because translated something else. Like, I don't know what that worked, but I was having a hard time. And I was like, you know what? I've had enough experience when this stuff like this. I was going to cut to the chase. I'm going to Google a picture of guys high fiving. Like, this is high fiving. Right. And so
you're like,
explain it to them straight out. But, and here, one thing, if anybody's, for whoever's listening, and I need everybody to know that I love working on this story. Like, I love working on the story. Like, it's definitely like a passion project, and I love that people Love it. I had somebody the other day and they were just gushing over the vampire. And this is something I never even thought of. I've had a few people come up to me saying how they love how the vampires are different. And they thought like vampire stories were done. Like pretty much like, because they said, there's been some people were like, oh, vampire stories are, they've been done. Everything's been done with vampires. And they read this and they were like, I really like your take on vampires and how you handle them and how they're different. And so I was like, oh, that's really, I never even thought of that. I just wrote them how I wanted to write them. I didn't set out to do anything different. I just set out to write what, like, in a humor and a style that I know, and write with characters I'm familiar with. A lot of it's influenced by what I'm watching or what I'm reading at the time, right? So like I was watching some Sons of Anarchy at the time. So our vampires are more like members of Sons of Anarchy than anything else. So like they're like these rough, cool guys, right? And they love getting into a scrap. And
I love this kind of stuff. So I am huge. Over the last like 15 years, I got mega into like urban fantasy young adult books. Like those are some of my favorite reads. And my favorite parts of those books is like when you see like the mundane stuff happening, but you're still dealing with like the werewolves, the vampires. Like they're sitting at home, they're like at a pool hall, like playing pool, just chilling and interacting with each other. I love seeing that kind of stuff. That's like I get all excited, like he's a vampire over there. Like I love that kind of stuff. It's so exciting to see that.
I figured out something the other day that I didn't realize. It must have been something that was in the back of my subconscious, and that's what kind of drove in a lot of the story. Is every time I watch a horror movie with some slasher, it could be Freddy, it could be Jason, it could be Mike Myers, it could be everything. But every time you see them, let's say they're working, right? They're slashing, they're hacking.
That's their job.
So it's like, what are they doing when they're not doing this? And if you had unlimited power and you could just jump into these worlds and these creatures cannot touch you, eventually they'd figure that out, that they can't hurt you, right? You could talk to them then and be like, so why are you doing this? And when you do this, even though I know what you're doing this, or why you're doing this, what do you do when you're not doing this? Like, how do you chill? Like, there's a lot of hours in the day where you're not doing anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've been gone, like, there's like 2 years between your movies, and there's no case in between. Like, what happened to you? What do you do?
They're still alive because in the beginning of the film, you see them walking around. Look, so like Jason, he just probably like every day gets up, takes his machete, and just goes, oh yeah, let's go find some people. No one's disturbing his campsite today. There's nobody around, and then he just goes home, just feels all sad because nobody was there today.
Does he just walk the grounds looking for? He's like the old man that gets up in the morning and waits for people to cross his grass.
Exactly.
Get off my grass. Right?
Yeah,
that makes his day. That's all he does. And when he gets up and be there, he's kind of like, okay.
He's like, oh, then he just slumps and walks back to the camp. Yeah, there's nothing happening. He's like, oh, fine.
So I've always kind of wondered, like, what are these guys doing in their off time? It'd be fun to have this conversation, like if you were an equal level power person and you could talk to them. So, and I found that part of so-called living kind of answers that. You know what I mean? Like, what happens when they're not being monsters? What are they doing? Like, so.
Yeah. 8 months off, 4 months. Yeah, that's a lot of downtime. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't see him rebuilding the camp. Like, he's not good at doing any cleaning. He's not like, mowing the lawn. He's just wandering around, sitting there. He's probably sitting on his bed bunk like the whole entire time, just like, nothing's happening.
Like, you want to ask him questions like, do you like long walks? Do you have arch support? Like, do you have flat feet? Do you have to walk?
I know.
Like, I'm concerned about you.
I know. Does the mask not, hinder your eyesight whatsoever?
Do you shower?
Sweaty in there.
I know you're kind of like.
Well, I mean, he goes in the lake, so I mean, he's always in there. So at least he gets wet, somehow. He does. Like that thing is always getting wrecked, as you can see right there. It needs some time. I think that might be the case. Sharpening knives. Swinging weighted sleeping bags. Yeah, he has to stay bulked up so that it can happen when it happens. Yes.
Yeah, maybe that's all he's doing is training. He's working on his fast walk. His like machete throw.
Yeah. No, I can see that. Watch the movie Behind the Mask. Yeah, there's a couple of those Behind the Mask that I really want to watch. I'm probably going to binge those after Halloween because, this is jam packed month full of stuff happening. So I would love to see those sometimes. But yeah, no, that's the kind of I love thinking about that kind of stuff. And it gets you thinking too, because you're like, what?
But I find I get lost in thought in these stupid. I can be watching the movie, but I get lost in thoughts and these stupid thoughts. And I'm like, oh, what just happened? Like somebody just died. Who was that? They just figured something out. I missed it because I got lost in thoughts and being like, what does that murderer eat when there's no flesh around?
Then you got to rewind it, and then it ends up rewinding like half it back because half the time it doesn't work properly. So you're like, oh, fine. And then you're like, okay, I'm really gonna watch this time, and it gets to the same thing, and then something happens, you don't watch it, and you're like, dang it, I know. Yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, dude. So we just watched what was it? Friday the 13th, the one in the remake in 2009. You know, the sleeping bag scenes. They get wrecked pretty hard of those. I know.
Did they do the sleeping bag beat scene in the remake too? I can't remember.
They did. Yeah, they not as severe as it was the one time, but they did wreck a person in a sleeping bag for sure. Yeah.
Fun fact: a friend of mine did all the storyboarding for Jason X.
Oh, look at you! Hopefully, they storyboarded the best part of Jason X, is what they're saying here. Yeah,
the best. But that was like a holodeck, right? It was like the topless girls, and they're like,
yeah.
What does it want to have sex and smoke pot or drink beer? I liked all of the Friday 13th except for Jason Takes Manhattan.
No, that's my favorite. That's my favorite.
Jason Takes Manhattan, and 80% of the movie is on the stupid ferry.
I know it's hilarious because how is the lake going to go into over in the one area, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. But it's my favorite because it's so stupid, and also I love me some Kane Hodder, and he's my favorite Jason. But
I think that's the first time you actually see Jason like a case where you're like, he must have teleported. Because the other times you could say, hey, when he's off screen, maybe he's running or he's walking really fast. You know, he knows the woods better than you do. But in this one, it's like they're after him, and then he's at the top of the building, like on the 4th floor. He was out on the street. It's like, how did you even get there?
It's very questionable because they're on the ferry in the middle of the lake. It's a lake. There's no outlet of the water. It's in the middle of Camp Crystal Lake. It's not going out. How does the boat end up in the middle of the Manhattan area next to, school kids on their little yacht party thing? Whatever. Also, Jason, I don't think he's ventured that far away from home before. How does he know better to get back to Crystal Lake? Does he hail a cab on the way back? Does he take a bus? Like, how does he get back to Crystal Lake?
Like a goose, you know what I mean? Like they just know to fly south.
I see. Home. Yeah. That might be it.
Compass.
That might be it.
Drives them to like I gotta kill teenagers. I just know where they are.
I think that might be what it is. It might be the mask. Like if he gets too far away, like danger, you're too far away from the lake. Too bad. And then it gets closer to it. And then it'll tingle, kind of like Spidey sense, but it's just like the lake sense. It'll be like, oh, we're coming home. It's time to get home.
How about the inside of his mask is kind of like Tony Stark tech? You know what I mean? It's got the holograms and it's giving him
but it's his mom talking to him. And like crazy voice, crazy old lady voice. It's just the mom talking to him. It's like, Jason, be a good boy. Come home to mommy.
I think I have her action figure.
Oh, that's a good one. Yes. Okay. So apparently the Leslie Vernon is about college kids doing it. Okay. Now I got to add that on my watch list. I'm probably going to watch this October then. Let's go. That actually looks pretty cool. Let's see. You actually know the main character. Oh, it also has Robert Englund and Kane Hodder and some other. Oh, that's awesome. I love Robert Englund when he's in other horror movies, but they're more like the comedic ones, kind of like the Evil Dead stuff. He is hilarious. He needs to be in more comedic stuff. The dude is hilarious. He's so funny. Yeah. All lakes lead to the same. Like there's no. They're not going anywhere. It's
maybe that's what Jason's doing his off time, building a trench. He's just like
could be. That's right.
Out there.
He's taking online courses during his 8 months. He got in touch with those high school, college kids, and he was like, you know what? This is what's missing out of my lifetime. And 8, he's like, I need to go back to school. So from the 8 to 9 and 10, that's what he was doing. He was taking at-home courses. Yeah, I can see that happen.
GED or what's it called?
GED.
GED.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I know the awesome boombox JC Kicked in Part 8 didn't survive. I know. I have a Jason Takes Manhattan piece right there in front of me, and I love it. Yes, it's good. Oh, Dr. That sounds fun. Yeah, I want to watch that now. I'm putting that on my list. Thanks, Kev. Also, Kev, let me know. I know you're coming to Motor City for the Robert Englund meetup. are you doing the movie night? Because a bunch of us got tickets for that, and I am so excited for that. Let's go. You can't watch Nightmare on Elm Street, but not also watch it when Robert Englund is going to be doing a watch along with you. Come on, that's like that has to happen, dude. Let's go. Let's see here. If you guys are just coming here and checking this out, I'm dropping more links again for the Kickstarter. Go check it out. This is it's so much fun. I can't wait to actually read this. This is great. Yes, it is underrated, and Kane Hodder is absolutely adorable. He's probably one of my favorite Jasons, and I love chatting with him whenever time he comes here. But yeah, go check this out. It's good story. It's good characters. It just looks like a good, fun time. Like if you just want to read something that's not serious, you just have fun, goof around on. This is your jam. This is cool. This is good times right here. Go check this out.
And we got projects we love. We got picked for projects we love.
We did.
Yeah. And
Right
that was for both
nice.
Kickstarters, so that was good. And this one had me nervous because like it came in the day before we went live. But the other Kickstarter had it for like a month ahead of time. But that's, in all fairness, it was sitting waiting to launch for like 5 months because I changed the date from like November to March or whatever. So the coming soon page was there forever. So it had a lot of time to like gain followers and for them to check it. So I had the projects.
Have you seen what they did to the pre-launch pages now? So they made it larger. And then they made the side over there, but they also let you put preview pages in script on the bottom now. So if you're really looking to launch something, go put your pre-launch page up there because people can get they can go see more about what it is before they actually go and back it. Go get some more.
I had some like extra information underneath, and I had this little animation that Marco did where it was like him drawing Jack and drawing a bunch of zombies. So we had that on the page. That was neat. I liked that feature because before it was just a banner. It doesn't tell you anything, so it was hard to get followers. But yeah, and I'm loving how everything's going so far. So I'm thrilled. My problem is, other than Kickstarter, I do a shit job of selling these things because I don't make them available anywhere. So it's not that they're not selling; it's you can't buy them if you want because I've been so busy with like my day job and my YouTube channel and making this comic book and running a Kickstarter and having a toddler that when I don't even put thought into like I should put this on a site so people can buy it, and we should put it up on Amazon or book more cons. But cons is great. I love cons. I love talking to people. I love telling them about the story. I love meeting new people. Because I'm a big con baby. Like ever since I've learned about Comic Cons when I was like, I think it was like 14 when I first went to my first Comic Con. I've gone every year. And when I lived in Toronto, I would just go to every con everywhere. Like if it was a room in a hotel, I'd go. You know what I mean? Like every little tiny nook, every big one, every small one. I found out about it. I would go there. Be a $5 entry fee, $10 entry fee. I would just go there and I'd bring all my books to get autographed, and it was fantastic. But when it comes to selling books, it's you always have this like, oh, now I got to sell my table. I got to make enough to clear my table, right? And when you're selling your comic books, it's like comic books are great, but like you have to sell quite a few comic books to make your table, and then anything you sell after that is just a little, and then you try not to calculate like, oh yeah, and food and whatever. But you try not to think of that. Try not to think of that, and then you're like, yeah, I had a good day. But once you do the math, it kind of gets a little sad. So, but I want to get out there more, and I wanted to go to. I'm still going to go to more cons, but I want to make the book available somewhere where it'd be nice to actually make a profit on sales, so I can continue doing the book. That's what the Kickstarter is for, right? So I can continue making it because as a writer, it's really expensive to make a book because like I have to pay the artist. So like Marco's fully paid. Marco's made way more money on this series than I have because he's been paid for every page, every cover, everything he's drawn. He's been paid for. He's done. So for me, the Kickstarters help with the printing cost, and then when I sell them later, I'm hoping that'll help pay me back for Marco. So that's the life of indie comic book creators, I guess.
See who you're printing out of. Whoever you're printing out of, they might usually have storefronts that they'll put in print to ship directly out of. I know a couple of the printers offer that. So if you just want people to pick up your book that way, they can do that too.
Mm-hmm. Well, I got a lot of. I did offset printing And I do use a printer in like in Montreal. I believe they're in Montreal, and it was a good price if I got a lot of books. So I got a lot of books. So that's why I haven't been leaning toward the places where they'll do like print on demand. Because I've got the stock, so I'm trying to look for places where I can sell the stock that I have. Lots. I have lots of books.
Okay.
And I knew I wasn't going to sell them right away. Like that'd be awesome if I did. But even my buddy Derek Loffman, he like works for Marvel, designs their toys. He does great stuff. But even he doesn't sell out. Like he'll get 2,000 books printed. Even he doesn't sell out. Like maybe eventually, but not during his Kickstarter, right? So
yeah, I have a suggestion.
Sure.
This is what a lot of the indie guys do. They will go to Kickstarter, do one campaign. They will go to Indiegogo to run a second chance campaign. Then they end up at Fund My Comic for a storefront.
So
yeah,
I like what you're talking about. I've heard this before. As of 3 hours ago, I set up the Indiegogo page to go on. Actually, my wife did. And she was like, "Did you look at it to make sure?" She's like, because I guess one of the she wants to read through it to make sure the word Kickstarter is not used anywhere.
Yeah.
So she just did that, and it was funny because she's always asking me, "How can I help you? How can I help you?" And I was like, because I'm really busy, and she used to help me more, but since we have a toddler, I was like, well, somebody's got to watch babies. So I was like, I understand you can't. Like, I know you want to help, but you can't. You're not capable. You don't have the time to do it. So, but then she was like, no, I'll try to make some time. How can I help you? And I was like, all right, how about this? We've heard about the Indiegogo thing. Figure out how that happens. And then and do that. She's like, okay. And then I talked to her yesterday and I was like, so how the Indiegogo thing does? She's like, yeah, I sent you the email. What email? What do you need from me? And she was like, yeah, it tells you how to do it. I was like, maybe you misunderstood. When I asked you to help me do it, I didn't need you to get me the instructions so I could do it. I was like, I'm busy already. I was like, no, I didn't want you to find more things for me to do. That's not what I wanted. I wanted you to do things so I wouldn't have to do them.
I see.
Like, well, you were specific.
Yeah.
She's like, you just said, find out how to do it. And I was like, yeah, well, I meant for you to do it when you asked me, how can I help you? So she was like, fine. So she did it. And it didn't take long. Apparently it was an easy process. So
this is why you now have Xavier, your little minion, so that he can help you when he grows up, run your pages for you. Because, the younger they go, they already know technology, basically. He's already got an iPad probably on it, like tip-tapping away. I'm just saying, he's going to be running your storefront in no time. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to when he's old enough to play board games with me.
Oh, that's a fun part. When you finally get a good group of people, you get really competitive too. That's a good time. That's the best family night you can ever have ever. Yeah.
Yep. And we are competitive. I had my sister. It was like, it wasn't my wife's sister. It wasn't my sister-in-law. It was somebody else. Somebody else in the family, younger girl, and she was. I don't know. She was. How old was she at the time? 12, something like that. She was she's fairly young, and she came play. I was teaching her how to play this game called Boop. Really easy 2-player game. It's kind of like advanced tic-tac-toe meets checkers. Like it's all with kittens. It's a super cute game, super easy to learn, and it's awesome. It's an awesome strategy game. It's a very mind taxing, like back and forth, try to outsmart each other.
Yeah.
And was playing with her, and then I beat her, and then she was like, She turns to her grandfather who was there. And he didn't let me win. And I was like, I leaned to her. I was like, and she looks at me. I look at her and I was like, you've come to the wrong house. If you want to be let.
No. We're teaching you how to get good here, kid.
Yeah. I was like, I'm teaching you how to lose. I was like, if you're gonna win, I was like, I'll tell you this: if you win in this house, you're gonna earn it. So, so that was that.
Is it like Connect 4?
It's not. It's here. The game's called Boop, right? It plays on a square box that's got a quilt. So it's like a bed. So it's supposed to be like a bed. And the quilt is broken up into squares, as quilts are. And there's these wooden cat meeples and kitten meeples. And you put them on the bed. And as you place them on the bed, when you place another cat, if you place a kitten next to another kitten, it boops the kitten off to the next square. Oh. So if there's a circle of them and you put one in the middle, they'll boop. you position them like they have to bounce. So it's like they're bouncing on the bed and they're affecting the other ones. And if they bounce off the edge, then they're off and you get them back in your pile and you have to work to put them back in.
That sounds fun.
But if you get 3, but you bounce your own cats too. And it's tricky because you want to get 3 cats in a row, either like this way, diagonally, or whatever. You want to get 3 in a row. If you get 3 kittens in a row, they combine and form a cat. Now, cats can push kittens, but kittens can't push cats. But cats can push other cats. So you're trying to advance. And then if you get 3 cats in a row, then you win. So there's these, it's a fantastic game. I can't recommend Boop enough. You might look at it and see like fun. Like I think serious board games would look at it and feel like it's too silly, too cutesy for me. It's amazing. It's freaking amazing. And I got a Halloween edition that I should break out.
That sounds fun.
It's got a witch cat. So
yeah, well, let's go. Also, that sounds like the type of game that you're sitting in cons and you're waiting in line. That's what you play in line kind of situation. Like it's like a fun little sit down thing. Yep. And yeah, so I would too, like when you're done with the Indiegogo, talk to the Fun by Comic people. They're really nice. They actually like very interactive on Twitter and all the other places about actually campaigning to get people over there. So talk to them because they might actually help you set up your storefront, because you can set it up like a campaign page, but also as a storefront. So if you just have super extra excess of books, you're trying to get rid of them, that's what people do. They put them up there. And as Jay was saying, like Shopify and Wix as well. I also see people on Etsy setting Etsy up as a storefront as well. But I don't know if I recommend that because some people are getting their pages taken down over there. Really? But yeah.
What's getting the pages taken down?
Just random stuff. But yeah, I know Dave does that, and there's a couple of people that do that. They run their Etsy shop like a regular shop with their books.
I guess that makes sense because Etsy's like all crafty things, and it's like people bake to sell. And I am making this book; it's just not knitted.
Well, it's just also interesting too because people on Etsy will sell like 70s and 60s like children's books, like a resale store. So I don't know how that works, but they do. And Brojo, you are welcome to lurk and listen anytime you want to. You're welcome here anytime. You know this. And Kev, I'm sorry that you can't make it. Dude, if you want to set something up where you want something signed by Robert, let me know. I will definitely do that for you. I'll be there all 3 days. I know I'm not sure how much his pricing is, but check it out and let me know because I will definitely do that for you, Kev. Yeah. Robert England is coming to our Comic-Con, and Saturday he's doing a watch along for the first Nightmare on Elm Street.
That's what you're talking about. That's that event.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about there. And Papa Willie, Pussy Cats. That's right, Papa Willie. That's right. Yeah.
I highly recommend that. So if anybody wants board game recommendations, I have lots.
Boop hard too. Boop harder. That's right, Jay. That's right, Jay.
I know since being in the having a YouTube channel about board games, I meet a lot of people in the industry, and I've befriended the CEO of Boop.
Okay.
But I liked Boop before. Like I would have. It's not because of that. Like I liked Boop before, and that's what kind of got us talking. But he's a great guy. I'm gonna pass that idea on to him. Boop harder. Be a good expansion.
Yeah. You got to do that. That's fun. I really like that. We're coming up on a 2-hour mark. I've had such a lovely time chatting with you. Before we get out of here, everybody go click him, go follow him, go follow your YouTube because you have a really cool gaming channel as well. Go check out the campaign. If you can't back it, go share the crap out of it. Let's go. Let's get this going because we need way more people to see the so-called living because it looks so much fun.
It is so much fun.
Yeah. Do you have any other appearances or anything happening on your channel or cons that you'd like to promote?
Well, for the Canadians, there's a small con happening at a brewery in Newmarket. And I've never been to Newmarket myself, although I'm just a few hours away. So I'll be there, and that's October 27th. And I can't remember, it's put on by Wayside Comics, I believe.
Okay.
And and it's in a brewery there. So it's a small little, I don't know how much of a con it is. I think it's focused on comics, which is great because I found a lot of comic cons are not
comics and beer. Yeah.
So yeah, comics and beer, that'd be great. Apparently they make a good chicken sandwich, which
even better. Let's go.
So that's great. And the board game channel is called Board Game Coffee, if anybody is interested in that.
It is down below. Oh, here. Let me link you right now. There you go. Bam.
And as far as the Kickstarter goes, it runs all of October. books 3 and 4. And if you missed out, you can get books 1, 2, 3, and 4 there at a discount. So and you can try book 1 out for free if you want on Global Comics. Just you don't have to have a subscription or anything. You just go there. There's actually a link under those 3 pages samples that I put in the Kickstarter with the mob guys. There's a banner there, and if you click on that banner, it takes you to the free issue 1. So you can just read that yourself, and that'll be free forever because I just want people to find the book and love the book, and because I love it and I love the feedback we've gotten. So
it looks so much fun. Yeah, it looks so much fun. And let's see, and for updates for me, if you have purchased something during C3, we are getting orders in check. And if you purchase something overseas from C3, we're getting everything to ship to either DJ or Rob so they can mail that out. Look for any updates from us over the next couple days. We're getting that in order. Also, the CBC Awards. They end on the 19th. So you got 8 more days left to go. Vote for me. Vote for you. Vote for your favorite YouTuber comic channel. Let's go. Let's get some more votes in. Woo-hoo-hoo. Other than that, that's it. I think I might be doing a watch party tomorrow for some kind of horror movie. If you want in, let me know. It's good times. Other than that, but we're going to get out of here. Thank you so much, Mark, for coming in here. And I had such a lovely fun time talking to you.
Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome back anytime. We will goof around, talk about stuff.
Yeah,
more games. Let's go.
I'm more than happy to talk about anything. If it's video game, board game, comic book related, I'm in. And if you ask the right question, I won't shut up. So you'll have to have a mute button for me.
Perfect. I love weird, nerdy chats. And we could pick a board game, just nerd out over it. Because if you haven't noticed, some of the board games are actually coming out their own comics as well.
Yeah, I just did a how to play for Invincible, the card game.
Oh, the card game.
That Kickstarter is live now. So if you go to Kickstarter, you look for Invincible, the card game.
Oh,
I think the second video down on the page, you'll see me. I did a how to play for it. That's my Board Game Coffee channel.
That's you. Nice. All right. We're going to have to look at that. And you're welcome very much. And yes, I love that you're staying in chat this entire time, just lurking with your alien ways. Your eyes are on us. I heard, yeah, that's it. And Jay says dance. All right. Because if you don't know, I don't have an outro. So we dance on out of here because we suck like that. And yeah, so thanks to everybody for hanging. Thanks for you for joining. And yeah, it's time to dance because we suck. So see you guys.